What's going on, guys? We're back. It's been, man, a long time, way too long. Went on some trips, started school. I probably haven't uploaded a video in over a month. And last time I did this, we were Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, Buffalo had just been eliminated. We had the Eastern Western Conference Finals set. I don't think I covered a single game of the Conference Finals. I didn't cover a single game of the Stanley Cup Finals. I watched a lot of hockey. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't going to upload anymore. It's only a few subscribers, and I was kind of doing it more for myself than anything. But I figured, you know, I want to do this again next year. I may as well end this season off right and just discuss, what happened a couple nights ago. We saw final two teams. This board used to be filled with all 32 teams. Now we have two teams left, and Carolina was able to take care of business in 6 games and secured their second Stanley Cup in franchise history. So congrats to the Carolina Hurricanes. They are the 2026 Stanley Cup champions. Vegas, I have a lot of hate in my heart for this team. I really do. I do not care for them at all. I feel like they've kind of been given preferential treatment over their 9-year existence. They've made 3 Stanley Cups. Many expansion teams struggle for years and years and years before they ever even taste a little bit of success. Like, for example, look at the Columbus Blue Jackets. They've made the playoffs a handful of times, but they've never even come close to tasting success. Minnesota Wild, they've put together some good teams. They've never been to a Stanley Cup, and they've been in existence for 26, 7 years. So for a team like Vegas to get an extremely favorable expansion draft, go to Stanley Cup their first year, win a cup a few years later, and here they are again, But it's a double-sided thing, because even though I'm resentful for them as a team and as a fan base, they barely won their division. They fired their coach like a couple weeks before the season ended, maybe 3 weeks before the season ended. Won a slew of games to win their division. So they were like a wild card team, or they looked like they were going to be a pretty pitiful wild card team at that. Ended up winning all these games at the end to win their sorry-ass division. It's a terrible division. They won their division. They didn't even finish 500. They won 39 games. And they didn't even win half the games. But they did what they had to do. And they did not face... They faced the stiffest competition that you could face in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and they were 2 wins away from winning it all. So while I talk about how terrible the Pacific Division was basically all year, how much I hate the Golden Knights, how much I can't stand any of the California teams, Edmonton included, all these other teams, they did what they had to do. They beat the Utah Mammoth. They beat the Ducks, which, those 2 teams aren't powerhouses, but they're respectable teams. And then they swept the Colorado Avalanche. And I was talking all this shit about how the President's Trophy winner hasn't won a Stanley Cup since 2014, 12 years ago. And all of a sudden it kind of looked like Colorado was going to make it happen. And then they lose to one of the worst division winners we've seen in recent memory. A team that can barely get 90 points in the regular season is going to sweep a team that gets almost 120 points in the regular season, wins the President's Trophy, looks completely unstoppable, has a stacked lineup. All of their lines are great. They have amazing players. They added more players at the deadline. It's crazy that Vegas was able to do that. And then look, not only competitive, but at times in the Stanley Cup Finals, like they were the better team. They were just built for a playoff run. So don't like Vegas, don't like their fans, don't like anything about that team, but I'm going to give respect where respect is due, and they took care of business in the playoffs. I'm super grateful they didn't win the cup, because I wouldn't be making this video now had they have done that. But Carolina, we'll just take them off the board completely, or we can leave them on there all off season just to have them on there. But Carolina, great season, number 1 overall seed in the East. They had really great play from so many players on their teams, on their team. Um, Freddie Anderson did great. Bussy did great during the regular season, looked phenomenal. Svechnikov, Aho, Ellers, Seth Jarvis, and then into the playoffs, you had Stankoven and some of these other dudes, you know, did what they had to do. I mean, what a great playoff run by the Carolina Hurricanes. Swept the first 2 rounds, lose game 1 to Montreal, and everyone's like, oh no. And then they win the next 4, like a non-factor. I really think Buffalo would have put a better series on them. Maybe that's just because I'm biased, but yeah, Carolina took care of Montreal, and then there were times where they looked like they could be in trouble in the Stanley Cup Finals, but they came back and won some games, that they were down and out in, and then by the time this game 5 and 6 rolled around, they took care of business. So it could have been a quicker series if they could have pulled off that comeback win, the one that they were down 4-0 and came back all the way and ended up losing in overtime, but on a bad bounce. But, Vegas gave them all they could handle, and Carolina, man, I'm not a Carolina hater. I'm not. I like the team. I remember the very first year I actually watched hockey, like extremely, I was extremely involved in watching hockey, I should say. I was 9 years old. It was the 2001-2002 season, and I was just super into playoff hockey, and I watched Carolina, trudge their way through the East, and I was like, wow, like I had hockey games for like Sega and all this stuff, and I was familiar with teams. I didn't know everything about hockey, right? I was 9 years old, but I just remember thinking, like, Carolina Hurricanes, like, I don't see them in any of my NHL 94 or any of this stuff. Like, what's a Carolina Hurricane? I thought the team was cool. I thought their insignia was cool. Their colors were cool. I remember seeing, like, I think Ron Francis was on the team. All these dudes were bearded out, had playoff beards. I was like, damn, Carolina's pretty cool. I was going for Detroit because that's who I always played with on, like, NHL 94. And I think I also had, like, NHL 97 or something like that for Sega Genesis. So I was going for Detroit, and Detroit won. I've been hooked on hockey ever since then. But Carolina Hurricanes are one of my first real memories when it came to being a hockey fan. And it's cool to see, they ended up winning the cup a few years later with Rod as the team captain, and now them winning it with him as the coach is really cool. So I like seeing Carolina, a fan base like Raleigh, North Carolina, win something. So good on them. Second cup in 3 appearances. So Carolina, right on, man. And they've been like right at the door for years now, right? And now they finally win the cup. So good for them. And I just want to thank anybody who is watching this to the end. Appreciate you guys for there was limited feedback. People would comment here and there, but those of you that did, I really appreciate it. Anybody who watched these videos, I really appreciate it. These videos were important for me during a difficult time in my life. Obviously, transitioning out of the military, it sounds like a great thing, right? Like, oh, you're getting out of the military and now you're able to do all these wonderful things with your benefits that you earned. It's not really like that, man. It's like you lose a sense of community, you lose a part of your identity. It's super difficult. So I tried to substitute some of that with a little bit of community through sports and through hockey. So anybody who is a part of that or wants to be a part of that moving forward, I plan on doing these videos in the future. It's a lot more fun to talk about when you have 32 teams to talk about, or at least the opening rounds of the playoffs are pretty fun too. But just wanted to thank you guys for watching and any kind of support. So I don't have anything else to say, so we'll go ahead and close this down. I want to start making a few more videos about some other stuff, but right now I'm pretty busy with school, so I don't know how active this channel is going to be, but maybe NFL. Maybe we can get something going for the NFL. Maybe we can get something going for the NHL when the NHL season starts back up here in a few months. But other than that, I don't think I'm going to do anything veteran specific or anything like that, unless something comes up and I think would be beneficial. But y'all have a great rest of your week, and until I see you again, um, y'all take it easy. And if anyone has any questions about anything whatsoever that I can help you with, whether it's sports related, military related, veteran related, please get a hold of me. That's what I'm here for. So I need community, and I love helping people. So if there's anything I can do, send me a DM or find me on Instagram. Instagram thrash like it's 80 number 86. You'll see me. But yeah, you guys have a good one, and until next time.